Yo, today I'm talking about the most exciting fights to make in the UFC right now. These are fights that I think could be fight of the year, but the rules I've set for myself are no rematches and no fights that are already booked right now. So that means I can't talk about fights like Strickland vs. Duplessis because that's already been booked, or fights like Pantoja vs. Manel Kape, or Max Holloway vs. Yair Rodriguez, because we've already seen those, and I only want to talk about fights that we haven't seen yet. Starting off at flyweight, we got Brandon Royval vs. Manel Kape. Tell me I'm not cooking. This would be absolute insanity. Brandon Royval is super unpredictable, always going for flying knees, spinning elbows, and fast 1-2s. He's one of the fastest guys in that division. Manel Kape is probably the hardest hitter in that division. He's dropped his last 4 opponents, most of them in the first round, so it's going to be action from start to finish. I feel like a lot of people underestimate Manel Kape's patience when it comes to finding that big punch. He's not out there just winging overhands. He'll find the openings before hitting you with a bomb. But if you pressure him a lot, he'll go for a lot of counters. So I think from the start, Royval will be pressuring Kape and it'll start a war. They're going to beat each other to death and the winner is going to take over the loser's land on some Genghis Khan type beat. Up next is Bantamweight, and I think the most exciting fight would be Sean O'Malley versus Davison Figueiredo. The reason I'm picking Figueiredo over somebody like Corey Sandhagen is because he's becoming more of a wrestler as of late, and his last few fights haven't been exciting as his usual fights. For all we know, Corey might just wet blanket O'Malley the entire fight. So I think Figueiredo would be an interesting fight for O'Malley. Figueiredo is always moving forward confidently, looking to land that right hand, and O'Malley has great movement, uses a wide variety of feints and strikes, and they both have a ton of power, so somebody's going to get knocked out. Now we're at featherweight, and the most exciting fight would be Yair Rodriguez versus Ilia Topuria. Yair has super fast hands and throws kicks and elbows out of nowhere. He's one of the most unpredictable strikers in the UFC. He could literally hit you with anything at any time. Look what he did to the Korean Zombie. And Ilia is always walking forward, looking to land heavy punches. He's got some solid boxing, good combinations, and one-punch knockout power. Both of them would constantly be pressuring each other, looking to knock each other out. This would be pretty hard to predict because anything could happen in that fight. Moving up, the most exciting fight at lightweight is Charles Oliveira versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Both of these guys are always looking for a finish. On the feet, you got Charles walking forward, throwing kicks to the body, trying to land a big straight right. If he gets closer in the clinch, he's got good knees, and he's always pressuring you with something. And Saint-Denis is always throwing strong kicks and tries to take your head off with every punch he throws. And he's got a great chin. Also, I feel like the grappling would be fun to watch. Saint-Denis has good grappling, and I want to see if he can hang with some of the best grapplers at 155. Wherever the fight goes, it's going to be insane. Somebody's getting finished. This one doesn't go past the second round. Alright, next up is the welterweight division. And Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page would be the most exciting fight. Tell me this wouldn't be a banger. Two strikers going at it. Two high-level strikers. Both of them have fast hands and kicks. Hit hard. And you got MVP taunting, making Ian Gary mad, probably some trash talk about his wife before the fight. This is a kickboxer's dream right here. All over the place with head kicks, flying knees, spinning kicks. It would be a banger. Moving up to middleweight, Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev would be the craziest first round ever. Round of the year already right here. Khamzat trying to take him down, Dricus with his weird unorthodox striking. They're going to beat each other up and are going to be gassed out after that first round. And they'll just be fighting each other like drunk old men, just throwing slow, sluggish right hands. But I just want to see those first rounds because I already know it's going to be crazy. Next up, in light heavyweight, we got the battle of the Samurai versus whatever Johnny Walker is. Yuri Prohaska versus Johnny Walker, the two weirdos at light heavyweight. Before the fight, you would have Johnny Walker doing his goofy little Fortnite dances and Yuri channeling his chakra, and then in the fight, they would just start throwing hands all over the place with flying knees and elbows and crazy scrambles and submission attempts on the ground. there's going to be a knockout guaranteed. This is the most insane fight you could cook up right now. And finally, at heavyweight, we all know the fight to make is the champion Jon Jones versus the interim champ Tom Aspinall. We don't want to see Jones fight elderly Stipe. We want to see Jones be challenged by the most dangerous guy at heavyweight. Aspinall is the fastest guy at heavyweight. He's a hard hitter, has good wrestling. He might actually be able to keep up with Jones on the ground. We saw he was able to take down and submit Volkov and Arlovsky pretty easily, so he's already one of the best grapplers at heavyweight. Jones is going to try to maintain distance, but Aspinall might be the heavyweight that's fast enough to close the distance and outbox Jon Jones. We've seen the guys who gave Jones a lot of trouble were guys who were able to close the distance and box him. Lyoto Machida was able to time Jones and hit him, and Alexander Gustafsson and Dominic Reyes pressured Jones and moved forward a lot and were able to close the distance and outbox him. If Aspinall is able to do something similar, he could give Jones a lot of trouble. But Jon Jones is considered the GOAT for a reason. He's always able to game plan and use his skills to win. I doubted him against Cyril Gane, and he proved me wrong, so I can never count him out. So I want to see the GOAT face the dangerous young fighter, not some old man. So those are the fights I want to see this year. Let me know what fights you think would be exciting, or if you can come up with anything better. Like and subscribe, because 2024 is the year I take over. Guru, Lucas Tracy, Weasel, Bedtime, y'all better watch out. God bless. I'll see you at the top.